So in all of these situations, there's a business involved and there's real money involved, and somebody's benefiting from this thing that looks like, oh, that just happened. Nah, no way. No way. It would be hard for a homeless guy to get into the Hollywood Bowl, let alone a homeless guy be able to rush the stage and actually.
So you're saying same for Dave Chappelle and this random homeless person.
You are definitely one of the most controversial comedians in the game.
Thank you.
What is, like, the craziest
thing? Is he more controversial than Richard Pryor?
For this time he is, for this era.
Okay, talk to me.
What
you would know
is the most outrageous thing you've heard about yourself, true or false, in media, whatever, that was just like, wow?
Honestly?
Yeah.
Okay, so technically this story doesn't have anything to do with me.
Okay.
Because I've never been the funniest person on the planet at any point. So now it doesn't matter if people have a different opinion, and it doesn't matter if my fans think differently. They're biased. They should think differently. But now Dave Chappelle has always been funnier than me. And Chris Rock has always been funnier than me. I've always been aware of who was funnier than me. I've just also been aware of who wasn't. So now I know the real Bernie Mac stories, and I know that the people that made money off Bernie Mac didn't like him. They hated his guts. And that was our king. That was our real king. For all of those of us who was out there doing it for $20 for 45 minutes. On some almost a hoe.
Well, I know what you're saying. I know Bernie Mac. I'm from Chicago.
That was our real comedy king.
You gave him his first job.
Not how it went down. Not how it ended up. Because sometimes the victors rewrite history. But by the same token, God is there for us. And sometimes his best gift to us is getting us out. So right when Bernie had proven his point, and right when Bernie showed everybody who he actually was, and curtain scene. Just like Rick James. Rick James was in obscurity, and then God said, you know what? You can run them bases one more time. And he ran them bases one more time. And that's what it was. I'm saying, Heavy D I was with him every day. Before he went. Yvette Wilson was living in my house when, I'm saying,
Talk to us.
It's a different Hollywood than the Hollywood. And the reason you don't know these stories is there's no one to tell you these stories. Because you can't make me tell them.
In the Hollywood, and the reason you don't know these stories is there's no one to tell you these stories. Because you can't make me tell them.
Don't dress at all. You can interrogate me with torture, nigga. I won't confess at all. I'll just keep on crying. Keep on sobbing. Ask me any question, my head will keep on popping. You think I'm saying yes for the first few seconds. Till you realize I'm in my own world, thinking of your girl naked. Fuck you niggas. I'm a federal nightmare. I'm a small motherfucker who ain't scared, who don't fight fair. Shit. So if you wanna make me a motherfucking martyr, do what you gotta do. Bitch nigga starter. Huh. What's happening, Puff? I'll be back to you if JD ain't had enough. Yeah. Jermaine Dupri, king of the pedophiles, if you ask me, baby. Shit. Jermaine Dupri, small as a child. If I was fucking Janet, she'd already have a child. If I was fucking your bitch, she'd have a permanent smile. I'm a real G, nigga. I got permanent style. Shit. I don't fuck with you fuck faces. You grown ass niggas with gap teeth that need braces. Fucking rappers with hairlines. gonna fuck with me and try to compare lines. Just meet me somewhere, nigga. Let's compare minds. I mean, let's go somewhere and compare nods. Shit. Fucking with Katt. It ain't my fucking fault you ain't visited the brat. Huh? Nigga, you should visit the Gap. Nah. I'm fucked up for even mentioning it. Well, Chappelle's, I guess, the perfect person to discuss that. The fact of the matter is that in order to technically be sane, it requires that your belief system go along with everybody else's. And so that's why they put such a high modicum on labeling you as that, just in preparation for what you might later say.
Just because you're different, they always want to kind of put somebody into a box.
Well, that's the shallow end of it. On the deep end of it, they have an idea that there's a Messiah coming and they're not sure who it's going to be. They just know it should stick out. So they look every time something sticks out to make sure that's not it.
They have an idea that there's a Messiah coming and they're not sure who it's going to be. They just know it should stick out. So they look every time something sticks out to make sure that's not it.
Either way, genius is relative, and it's generally better served once you're gone.
Right.
So the geniuses that we all agree upon, that's not exactly what they were viewed as at the time. There's no way for the guy outside with a kite with keys on it trying to get struck intentionally by lightning.
Yeah.
There's no way for him not to be crazy in the current. Well, thanks for that softball question. There's two answers. First of all, let's be very, very clear. It is possible that there isn't anything funnier than a guy in a dress. And if that's the case, then it might also be said that there's nothing funnier than a black guy in a dress. Okay, well, I watched all of my friends throughout my entire life be able to dunk a basketball, but not me. So everybody can't do everything. So, some of us make choices. I think it's not a biggest choice for others. I'm saying at the end of the day, Kevin doesn't have to worry about what people are going to say about him wearing a dress because of the long line of dress-wearing people before him. So now we have Big Mama's house 1, 2, and 3. Yeah. I've never seen Medea in a pantsuit. I think she wears dresses. So now I'm saying, why are we picking on poor little Kevin Hart? Because it was his turn next. Okay. Some of us are against the Illuminati, and we are against the Illuminati at our own detriment.
Okay. Some of us are against the Illuminati, and we are against the Illuminati at our own detriment.
When people are against the Illuminati, then they get punched in the face all the time. The press hates them, and nobody likes them. End quote.
We all love Dave Chappelle.
Exactly. Dave Chappelle has never been a part of the Illuminati. They don't want him or me or people like us. But now, it's not necessary for us to stir up that hornet's nest unless we intend to get stung 1,000,000 times. I didn't understand that. They had to sting me 1,000,000 times. I'm still not going to join, but I respect it a little more.
All right. How do you handle that? Because they put your name in the press with a lot of rumors and a lot of situations that they try to put on Katt Williams. Do you feel ever the need to, I got to go defend this and put out a story about who I am? Or do you just let that kind of roll off your back, man?
Well, as you can see, I've let it all go for quite some time. And a lot of that is just based upon the fact that I don't really know how to complain because all of the people that I ever looked up to had to go through it too. So I know how much they talked about Martin Luther King, and I know what they end up doing to him. I know this same story about Jesus and a few of my uncles. So now I know that if your mouth is really, really big and you try to tell the truth for a living and you like to air people out, hatred is coming your way. I didn't know it was going to be this type of hatred, But, you know, I'm concrete in all things because of He who strengthens me. So that doesn't mean I always make the right decisions, but I am going to stand by what I stand for. And I'm only continuing to do it because I was looking for somebody who was doing it instead of me. And I just must have missed them. You know what I mean? So at some point you have to figure out what example are you trying to be. If it's just going to be you going to make it and live happily ever after and go off into the sunset, then that's what that is. Otherwise, you're on the front line of this battle. And those of us who understand that this is a part of what comes with it.
I believe it was a curse that went with that personally, because nothing went right since then. That's truthful. No one can tell me, hey man, you thinking too much, man. You see that, man? Everything went wrong. It's like everything went right. Everything went wrong when I put on that dress. I'm telling you, I lived it. Brandon don't wear a dress.
That is different than the fact that Martin and Jamie are really going to do Sinead and Wanda as a movie. You see, because once you do Sinead and Wanda as a movie, and we already have Big Mama's house, and we know Brandon T. Jackson, that nigga showed up with his dress. He was ready to be in 1 and 2. Yeah, so I wondered how many niggas really need to wear a dress. And why is it so important? And they tell you shit like, but it's funny. Is it? I'm saying I don't have any hatred in my heart for Tyler Perry because he works hard. But he is a drag queen. Let's be very honest. A drag queen is somebody who works in drag. Do you know who Madea is, sir? That's a nigga in that dress, sir. That's not nobody's grandma. And I pray to him every night. Every night I say, Jesus, if I have strayed from what you wanted me to do, that is not what I had planned for today.
That's right.
But Lord, if you see Satan, would you tell him I said he ain't shit? Fuck him in his dirty, stank, AIDS-infested asshole. Jesus, would you tell him that? Would you tell him that when I see him, I spit in his face every time I see him? If he jump in another motherfucker, I want that motherfucker. Satan ain't shit. Atheists ain't shit. Satan ain't shit. Atheists ain't shit. Satan ain't shit. Faison ain't shit. Jamie Foxx ain't shit. Faison ain't shit. Jamie Foxx ain't shit.
He called you, or is this? No, he was saying in the media, so I thought he was heckling me. He was really trying to help me at the time. I didn't know that. I was immature. Right. I feel like, dang, why? I'm trying to make it. Why you bashing me? And then he was trying to warn me, don't get in the dress. So, the awakened Brandon, you couldn't pay him $1 trillion to get in the dress.
Yeah. Was there like, how did they present that? Well, you knew right away you had to get in the dress.
I did the scene on lottery ticket.
Okay.
That scene on lottery ticket. After that, they were pushing his dress on me. It was something about that scene that touched a lot of people, and I think I was too real. I think they did the same thing like to Tupac. When they too real, they start looking at you like, hold on, how'd this slip past us? Who's this guy? You know what I mean? And then it's like, you know what? Yeah, he might be a kid. Just put him in the dress.
What do you think the dress is about? Is it to tone us down, to tone that realness down?
I think the dress, personally, is a thing that was not in our culture to do. And I think everybody will want to put their culture on us. No, not to hate your culture or your God. Mm-hmm. If your God say you can put on a dress and your culture is normal for you, that you have the right as a human to choose that. But me, for my God and my culture, my ancient culture, we didn't do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Decapitated in front of us. And until we deal with that, until we deal with the fact that a devout Muslim who doesn't eat bacon was accused of being a crackhead, until we establish the fact that they said that he went to Africa to smoke cocaine when we know they don't have running water and food over there, when they don't have paved roads over there. You saying he flew past Chicago and Miami and LA and New York and Detroit. You saying he went past Cleveland and Fort Pierce, Florida, and he went past Okeechobee and Oakland. You saying he went to another country where they got heating?
Right.
You talking about somebody who has a wife and children, 5 children, and lives on a farm, doesn't live here in Hollywood. You saying you convince people that person was an insane crackhead and he hasn't been on movies and TV for 8 years? Is that correct? Okay, then don't tell me about what you want to tell me about. I just watched you decapitate the king in front of me and then act like he's supposed to catch up and be a regular comedian like everybody else. But no.
He didn't go for that.
That's not how it went. He was out there with us for 20 years. They called him Pilot Boy because he had 19 pilots in Hollywood and everybody passed on him and said his show wasn't worth it.
What do you think of
Then when he made $500 million, they said even though his contract said he should get half of it, they said he made too much for the contract to be valid, so we'll offer you 10% of what you made. You mean he made $500 million and they offered him 50? Yes. And he said, what do you think my fans are going to say when they find out you offered me 10% of what I made you? And they said, your fans will believe that you're a crazy crackhead by the time you get home. And my nigga got on the flight in LA, and by the time he got to Ohio, it was so. And 8 years later, he hasn't been in a movie and or television. Is just now trying to do his real comeback at Radio City Music Hall. It bees like that sometimes. So now you can be the fake king or you can be the real king, but heavy is the head.
Shit, because these motherfuckers are attacking real shit at every motherfucking angle. They had a story on CNN 3 weeks ago that said the USDA has approved the sale of clone meat to the American public. What? See, I was high when I originally saw the story. So I waited all the way till I came down to relook at the story, and it still fucking said the USDA has approved the sale of clone meat to the American public. Ain't that about a god? You raggedy motherfuckers would feed. You gonna feed? We saw the movie Multiplicity. We know what the fuck clone mean, motherfucker. It mean retarded. You gonna feed us the retarded ass clone cow meat now? And I thought niggas was gonna tear up the streets and riot and shit, and nothing fucking happened. You, these motherfuckers, you gonna feed America the clone? Ain't it motherfuckers starving in other countries that we could have gave a goddamn retarded clone meat to first to see if that was gonna work out? They ain't got shit to eat. They don't give a fuck. You can't feed it to us first, you motherfuckers. And some of you same niggas gonna be eating the shit out that goddamn clone meat and talking shit about, nigga, fuck that nigga. The clone meat is delicious, nigga. They put the garlic in the cow as a baby, nigga. You ain't even gotta season it. It just already grow up garlicky and delicious, nigga. They don't give a fuck about us. You know the clone meat gonna be cheap as shit, nigga. Fuck that. I went to McDonald's, got the McClone combo for 19 cents, nigga. Had 11 big ass Big Macs in it. It was wonderful. That's all right. That's all right. Go ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead. Feed your baby the retarded ass clone cow meat and see what the fuck happened. You gonna be wondering why your daughter's 4 years old, weighs 611 pounds, got a little horn coming out her motherfucking braids, and the bitch can't do her alphabet correctly. Just A, B, C, D. Did you fed that bitch the retarded ass cow meat? These motherfuckers don't give a fuck.
I am in the production business. I understand what is worth doing for ratings. I understand what is worth doing when the industry is canceling one black guy. I know what happens when they are going to elevate another. And I know what happens when they don't care about either of them. This is how quarterbacking go. So the question is, hey, your quarterback just got sacked. Did we know we was going to sack your quarterback? We absolutely did. It was a play, buddy. We've been rehearsing it, working it out, making sure that at some point, when you get to this level, we can make sure we knock you from a $20 million man to putting in the news that people won't hire you no more and your career is done. Yeah.
So you're saying it was a
$100
setup?
million, you can do all of that.
You saying it was?
I'm saying that everything that happens in a business that's based off of pretend, that seems like a setup, is.
Everything that happens in a business, everything that happens in a business that's based off of pretend, that seems like a setup, is.
Yes. What I'm saying is, if Jussie Smollett and Lee Daniels, for a living, make stories that are not real, and they make them so good that people believe them and buy them, and that's what business they're in, why would you think it would be weird if they flipped out and said a story that turned out to not be true?
Why? Why would we think that if they are capable of doing that for a living?
That's what they do for a living. They do that 300 episodes. Is take something fictitious and make it seem real. That's the business. Why would you?
I don't
understand that.
But I don't.
A statement out there that you allegedly issued through your publicist apologizing for that routine, but you and I were just talking here in the commercial break. You said that's not really your statement. So tell me what the deal is.
Well, we kind of have to start. I hope that everybody saw what I just saw. If a person starts their heckling with F America, then that gives me the right to defend my country. I couldn't be anti-Mexican. My Mexican fan base is largely responsible for me even existing. So between them and the black community, it's really all I have. But I don't think I need to apologize for being pro-American. The guy said that all of this is still Mexico, and I was just giving him geography. This is America, greatest country in the world, sir.
Well, help us understand. So, do you not apologize for anything? We show like a 50-second clip there. It's like
sir.
7 or 8 minutes. Go ahead.
I apologize for the fact that the word anti-Mexican is being said to a black guy in America.
But you don't apologize for what you said in that studio, that stand-up.
I'm not allowed to. As a stand-up, the only thing that I sell is uncensored thought. So I'm only selling them the way I think, uncensored. So I'm not allowed to then come back the next day and apologize. That's for the Tracy Morgans of the world. I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. I'm apologizing if somebody thought I was trying to be anti-Mexican. Mexicans are my friends.
So Katt, why is it somebody is allowed to put out a statement apologizing on your behalf then?
Sir, they put out a DVD called Katt Williams' 9 Lives while I was in jail without my permission. A lot of stuff has been happening to a lot of black celebrities in the world. We just deal with it, thank Jesus, and keep on going, sir.
Now, I guess it's clear to say, you gave me a little bit of what he was saying, but he kept going on and on, this heckler. Now, what was it? You said he said, F America. That certainly set you off. But go ahead.
We were in Phoenix. So this is a heavily Mexican-American crowd. I gave $5,000 out to a Mexican-American serviceman at this same show. It was nothing like that the night of the show. This happened 19 days ago. It's just happening in the news yesterday because it's my birthday.
Well, help me understand that. What was it? Because it's clear that you were visibly upset. And you said you're a proud American. You defended this country. So is that essentially what it was? He was clearly out of line in your opinion, but he really got you hot.
I was offended because he was making a statement that we're not allowed to make in this country. In this country, you have to pledge allegiance to America first and your country of origin second.
Incidental, or you would be hearing who's losing money. In all of these situations, it's only the artist that's losing. Somebody makes big money. When these rappers get killed, not incidental. Somebody made $100 million and now don't have to talk to that artist or none of their crew. Don't have to validate none of their contracts. Now only got to deal with the mama. Only got to see her once a year, and it's over. And the money, he goes up and up and up. So they killed this $20 million guy, but they reaped $60 million in benefits.
Wow.
And they had some people from your city do it.
Wow. And they had some people from your city do it.
I'm saying there's the good side and the bad side of these businesses, and
but think about what you just think about what you just said.
That's extremely thoughtful and powerful. It could only be what it was if it were those two. Those two, yes. Will Smith and Chris Rock. It could only be what it has been with those two black men.
If you put any other names together, the police are out on stage, they've cut to commercial, you didn't see what happened. By the time they come out, people have been removed, it goes on. It's certain ways things are handled when it's not intentional. When things go smoothly, but they seem chaotic, that means there was forethought and a plan.
When things go smoothly, but they seem chaotic, that means there was forethought and a plan.
Racial conversation, I was there to tell a joke. The joke was, if Mexicans love America, could they give black people Mexico? That was the entire joke, because we'd love it and it's real close. We couldn't go back to Africa because of the flies. That was the joke. None of that's airing on the tape. This is an hour-and-a-half show, sir.
Now, would you, do you understand, at least some people hearing that, and you were talking to one guy. It's clear that other people in the crowd were laughing at what you were saying to him, even as you were going off.
If I had disrespected Mexicans, I wouldn't have been able to get out of there alive, sir, with all due respect.
But as people, do you understand why people who do hear it maybe do get offended by it, who maybe didn't read or listen to the whole 7-8 minutes of it, but just maybe read a few comments? You think they just have the wrong impression, or you understand why some might think the landscaper comment might have been offensive? Telling a Mexican like that guy to get to stepping back to Mexico, how that comes off as being offensive?
No, he said that we were in Mexico. So let me just say this. Yes, I can see what you're saying, TJ. And at the end of the day, I think those people should watch more of this CNN show so they can see there are real news factors going on in this country, things we should discuss, like our president versus football, rather than worry about what a comedian's saying. If you don't like me, don't come see me. If you do like me, I'm here for you. But I love Mexicans and I love Mexican Americans. But I love America overall. Let's be very clear.
Any concern about how people might view you down the road? How this could impact your career down the road? People might not want to book you in Texas or Arizona or California.
Wouldn't that be fantastic? Let's let that happen. But let the statement be that I'm a Christian. I'm straight.
All right. Well, we will leave it there. Again, I'm glad we got to clear it up, because we have been, Katt, this morning.
You, TJ.
We have been talking about this morning an apology that Katt Williams sent out, and you're telling me that was not your apology, so that's important to note.
I just made my apology, TJ, live in front of CNN.
Katt, good to see you. But if you enjoy California, we'll talk to you again soon back here in Atlanta.
So, have you heard from Shug?
Yes.
How's he hold up?
Well, first of all, I was there that night. I was with Shug.
Oh, you were with him? Okay. Do you have any idea who shot Shug?
I'm pretty sure Shug knows who shot Shug.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
so when he comes out of sedation, sure, anybody who gets shot will tell you who shot them, right?
Yeah.
But if the police say nobody shot him, I believe nobody shot him. And if nobody shot him, that's the same nobody that shot Tupac. And if nobody shot Tupac, it's the same nobody that shot MLK. And if nobody shot him, that's the same person that shot Malcolm X too. It's a lot of nobodies out there, and nobody minds if nobody comes up missing, right? That don't bother nobody, does it? Certainly doesn't bother me.
So,
shout outs to the nobodies of the world.
You're predicting this is going to be a nobody situation?
I'm making no predictions whatsoever. I'm saying the police said they arrested the shooters, then said they didn't arrest the shooters. But I was there, so I know that 20 minutes after people were laying down on the ground shot, no police had entered the club yet.
Did Shug do anything to provoke this, or?
Nobody in the world has ever provoked themselves being shot.
That's true.
There's only two ways to get shot. Either you believe you're somewhere where a person can't have a gun, therefore making you safe, you know, like an airport or a club that restricts entrance. And a situation where the person already has the gun out and you're standing in front of somebody. Now, if you're an idiot, you can believe this was about Suge Knight, but Suge Knight has been accessible every day of his life for 20 years. We know who it was aimed at, we know whose life he saved, and we know why they won't talk about it. But now the rumor mill would tell you, yeah, see, the same thing Suge was doing to Katt, he was trying to do to Chris. They're forgetting something. Suge has never managed me.
What about the reports that this was gang-related, that these were two gang members that thought they did it in spite of Tupac?
If it was gang-related, then why didn't it happen thoroughly? You see, there's parts of this story that just don't seem to make sense.
Right.
You're saying it was gang-related, so that means somebody's gang was shooting at somebody's gang, and then somebody's gang didn't shoot back. That's your story? That's not really how gang stuff works, is it? Looks like, yeah, Janet Jackson just had a wardrobe malfunction. Yeah, there's no such thing.
Correct.
I don't care who you blame.
I believe that.
Somebody benefit. Yeah. So in all of these situations, there's a business involved and there's real money involved, and somebody's benefiting from this thing that looks like, oh, that just happened. Nah, no way. No way. It would be hard for a homeless guy to get into the Hollywood Bowl, let alone a homeless guy be able to rush the stage and actually out of the war. Coming in, we have to agree that we're not going to win any awards and we're not going to be nobody's favorite, and we're going to miss out on a lot of the things that they're going to get over there because we're not like them and we don't do what they do. We're not willing to do the things they're willing to do. Therefore, we won't get what they get. And we sign up for that on this side. So anytime there's a breakthrough, and we do, it's monumental. I don't really think that you could think somebody is brilliant and also tell this narrative of how they might be crazy or they might be on drugs or they might make bad decisions. And over there, because I don't play. I don't participate. Like, you can't buy me, not because I'm not for sale. You can't buy me because I'm not in the store. You know the hidden, real amazing gem of it, though?
Please. Yeah.
Why did he win the Emmy, though? He won the Emmy because what that guy was saying is what they've been wanting that guy to say. They wanted to see that guy like that. That's how we wanted to see him, in a dirty wife beater and an old robe, and we wanted him to apologize and say how sorry Emil.
Say how sorry Emil.
Look, this is the business. We're in the business where make-believe happens, where the job is to have something that costs 9 cents for us to make, and we sell it for $4.99 to you for a good deal. And it's okay that it costs us 9 cents. But in this business, the star is the commodity. These are real people, real lives. When you see things happen and you don't have all of the information, the true tragedy is what Jada Pinkett Smith is having to go through in that scenario.